Hello and welcome to today's video. I'm going to be doing something a bit different for this video. We're going to be being a bit more creative, so to speak. I'm going to be customizing a helmet I recently bought on Amazon. I wasn't happy with the way it came. I won't go into too much details because I'm not going to flag off, the person, I bought it from. It's not worth the money I paid for it, in my opinion. It wasn't too great quality. You can find it yourself on Amazon if you really want. Anyways, I'm getting off topic. I wanted to customize it. I didn't want to send it back because, it's my stupid purchase. I will own up to it. So I thought, why not get a bit creative? As you can see in the background, I'm playing some campaign footage from For Honor, and I had an idea. This Warden you fight right at the beginning of the game, I think his name is Adama or something like that. I'm not 100% sure on his name though, because you kill him, you don't really think about it. But he has a really sick skull design on the front, and I thought, why not, steal that design, whack it on this helmet, and make it look awesome. And it'd be more of a For Honor helmet rather than just some Knight replica helmet I bought off Amazon. So that's what we're going to be doing in today's video. Right, we're going to jump into the process of what it took to get to the helmet I wanted it to be. Let's jump into the first section, shall we? Right, on to the first order of business. We're going to be sanding it down to get off all the nasty bits and just make sure it's nice and easy for the spray to stick to it. So this first process is me taking off parts that I can't sand down easy enough. So there's these two chain bits at the top of the helmet I struggled to get off as they were jammed royally in there. They weren't like screwed in. The screws they use to keep everything in place in this helmet is they put a pin through and split the pin and they folded it back, which made it really pain to get any of these parts out. Anyway, after about 10 minutes of struggling, got them out. Easy enough, I suppose. And I sanded down. Started with the front, got that nice and unevenly smooth so it can look great after I spray paint it. And I worked on the back afterwards. Obviously, I would have removed the visor, but obviously for the reasons of how the pins are in place, I would have to do a lot just to put it back in. And it's just going to be a display piece, so it's not like I'm going to be properly wearing it all the time. So that's the reason I didn't remove the visor. It would be more work for me and a pain in the ass to do, and I would need more parts to replace these parts anyway, because everything that is put in place of this helmet is not easily removed. I guess in a ways that doesn't matter because you're not meant to remove it, but for people like me that want to mess around with this stuff and customize it, it makes it really a pain in the ass. So that's why I didn't remove the visor. But yeah, this section is just sandpapering, nothing too interesting. Took me about 40 minutes to complete, and we'll jump into the next part, which is starting to spray paint. So we're now on to the next section, which is getting the spray paint layer on. This layer is just to keep everything consistent, and it's meant to be what I want the undertone of the helmet to be. Ideally, I would have got a black iron helmet, something with that, with the metals all black, rather than having to paint it all myself, then it's more consistent and the wear and tear looks more authentic. But obviously I couldn't do that with this. I had just a silvery helmet. But obviously I can't do that as I bought a silver helmet. So sanding it down, spray paint it down. I did 3 coats on the front visor and then two and a bit coats on the back before I ran out of spray paint. 2 coats isn't more than enough. This spray paint I got from the army paint is really good. It's meant for models, for like the tank models it's for, but honestly the paint is really nice. I will mention here, make sure you're in an area that's going to be less disturbed by, bugs, any sort of like dandelion flowers. Then your paint won't be disturbed when it's drying. If I was to pick a better place, it'd be a garage with like an open door, but I don't have that. I just have a back garden, so I just set up a box to hopefully keep most of it out, which it did, thank God. But anyway, yeah, just thought I'd mention that. Now the layering's done, it's all dry, we're going to get on to the sketching of the outline and the first paint design. So we'll jump into that section now. Right, so for the design, obviously I got the inspiration from the Warden that you fight at the start of For Honor's campaign. I really like the design. I didn't want to copy it completely. I just wanted the spray painty part. Obviously the Wardens can't use spray paint. You know what I mean? The painted part at the front. It's a lot more worn in his version. Obviously I will do some weathering later on, but it won't be as much as it is in the campaign. I'll see. Most clips I've got from him are very hard to show, so I'll record some footage for the campaign myself and play it here.
These warriors don't have to die. Trial by combat, right now.
What? Fight you? That's not a trial. That's an execution.
then fight my second.
Right, now you're back, you've seen the sort of Warden design, a bit up close. You can sort of see what I'm going for. Obviously his version's black and orange. I don't want that, so as you can see in the background, I'm doing it white. I started off by sketching a little out piece with a light pencil. You probably don't want anything harder than the HB. I wouldn't even recommend HB, I was just very lightly tapping. Sadly I didn't have any 2Bs or 4Bs laying around the house. You want to just lightly scrape around and get the outline you want of your design. That's what I did, and then I started laying on the white paint. Obviously you can see it's very poor layering. I haven't used acrylic in God knows how long, probably about 10 years or so since school or something, but honestly pretty fun to do again. I really enjoy painting. It's been a while since I've done any model painting. I used to do a lot when I was younger with Lego, surprisingly, so this is fun to do on a full-scale helmet. So yeah, I got the first white paint down. The teeth were really hard to do. I needed a smaller brush. This was quite a small brush as is, but you need like a proper model paint brush for the teeth. They came out quite nicely afterwards. I thought this first layer came out real nice. I will say one thing is you can see at the finished design here, it's so white. It's so clean. That's what I didn't like about it. So the weathering really helps later on, which is now what we're going to jump into. So yes, now we're on to the weathering. I've never really done weathering before. I did like a tiny bit when I was around my mate's house when I was a kid with, Warhammer models and that. He showed me how to do it. That's about as much weathering as I did. That was at least 15 years ago at this point, probably a bit longer, which is crazy. So I looked up some videos online, some model painters who love their stuff, what they do, and they're really helpful. There's a few ways to weather. The one I do, which is dry brushing, which is, scoop up a load of paint and then you brush off as much as you can. No, you don't scoop up a lot of paint, but you coat your brush. And then you brush off as much as you can, so there's barely any on it, and then you lightly tap onto the thing. And you basically do that for ages. Luckily, because of my uneven painting before, it came up a lot nicely, so a lot of these little uneven splotches came up as looks like scratches and stuff. So there you go. A little problem can come up as a solution in ways. But yeah, so that's what I did with the weathering. I made, obviously the seams a bit harsher on the weathering, so right down the front where the metal bends, and obviously right at the bottom where it bends as well. So that's why I wanted to do the harshest amount of painting of the weathering. Then also around the edges as well, I wanted to knock off and any sort of splits I've added on the white paint design. But yeah, that's weathering in a nutshell. I think it came out really well for me, considering it's my first paint down. I reckon some really masterful modern painters could do a way better job than I did. But anyway, I was really happy with the end process, and it's pretty much done at this point. I'm just going to get a coat of gloss paint after this, well, varnish paint, to keep it protected. So that'll be the last section. It'll be really short. It's just me showing you. It's basically the same as spray painting. We just go over with a few layers of gloss. So we'll jump into that and you'll see the finished product. See you then. Right, originally this was going to be the gloss section, but like an idiot, I forgot to hit the record button while doing it. The gloss section technically is just, spray painting, but with the gloss paint, which I'll show an image of it here. Basically, I bought the same one from the same manufacturer as the paint I use, because you never know with paints and stuff, if you get them all mixed, you might have like a chemical reaction. So I stay with the same paint. Army Painter, very good paint. I like the black that came off, and this gloss paint looks really good. So if you're ever looking for model paint, Army Painter. Anyways, the gloss paint wasn't hard to do. I did about 2 to 3 coats on the front and then 2 to 3 coats on the back. Simple enough. So, I'm going to jump into the last bit of me showing off the helmet. And I hope you enjoyed this video, because I certainly enjoyed making it, and I really enjoyed making this helmet. I'm really happy with the way it came out, so let's jump into that bit. Yes, so now we're here to the final product. The thing I've been, spending ages making is the sick-ass helmet. I'm really happy with the way it came out, and I'm glad I did this, to be honest, because I didn't really like just the basic design. I wanted to make it more me. Yes, very emo and edgy with the skull design, but I like it more. It fits more with the For Honor vibe I wanted it for. I wish there was designs like this in the game, the skull, because they obviously had it for the, the original Warden you fight. But obviously, like in the campaign, they don't have any of those cool images. You can get a couple skull designs, but they're not that great. I think I mentioned them before in the video. You get like a weird crystal-y one and then a mushroomy one. Why anybody would want the mushroomy one? Anyway, getting off topic. I really like the way it came off. For a first time weathering, I thought it came off pretty decently. Though it's not much I would change. I think the only things I would change is if I had more experience doing all this. But anyway, you're not going to get that without trying something new. I thought it was a bit different. I've always liked model painting and stuff and like the idea of it, but never had the, the want or the money to sink into some models, because Warhammer is cool and stuff, but it's never interested me enough to put the money down. Some of the Star Wars stuff coming out though, I might actually get into, but it's very, very expensive model painting. But yeah, I really enjoyed customizing this helmet. I might do some more stuff in the future. Like I said, the Star Wars models kind of interest me, and it's very chill doing something like this. And I'd highly recommend, if you're ever like looking for something to do and you just want to relax, doing something artistic, even if you're not great at it, as long as you're happy with the way it comes out. I would say this to you now, is just like any art I do, I'm always going to see the imperfections or stuff. But the more you do it, the better you get at it. And even if you don't, as long as you enjoy the process, it's a lot of fun. And I enjoyed this process, and I might do some more like it again. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. I got now an awesome helmet. I hope you like the design as much as I do. And thank you for watching. If you want to see any more For Honor content, I've done like a big old video, which I'll link at the end, and I've done a little other video, but the big video I'd appreciate you watching if you ever take your time to watch it. But anyways, thanks for sticking around, and ta-ta for now.